empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
All right, so I mowed my lawn with it, and I just mowed another property, which I'll show you a picture of. And as you can see, that property is quite dangerous. People just go flying by, and you know, they don't give you any space. Obviously, they're whether it's because there's a car next to them or they just got to get going and they're important. So that 30, you know, when I started that property particularly, there was only 5 trees, and it's about 100 to 120 yards long, and there was only 5 trees, all right next to each other, and most of it was just free going. I could take the right 61 and I could just fly down that road and then just come back, and it was just 2 stripes. Well, this year the city annexed that property and said, we're planting trees there and you got to deal with it. No, if you pull them out, they get fined. So yay government. But anyways, so those trees were here this year. I couldn't put the 60 because I'd have constantly go around those trees, and then I couldn't get between the tree and the fence because that's just way too short. But a 32 will. So all year I've been mowing with the Ferris, the FW15, which I still have, because although I do have this 32 here, that 32 is lighter. So in the spring, when I have those backyards, fenced in backyards, and it's soaking wet, and we've had 5 days of rain, I'm gonna be using that, but most of the time I'll be using this. So anyways, I finally got to use it on that property, and I was impressed. You know, I loved it. I think it's great. I think about what I'm going to do now is go over what I really like about it, initial impressions, all that good stuff. So, all right, so we're just going to do this in my trailer. Why not? So, initial impressions, I do like this. It doesn't have the notching system that the ZK has. This just that's it. And then you just kind of pull back if you want to kind of pull it over a bump or something. I just think it's simple. I like the simple pin design for being a cheaper way to do it. Yeah, the notching system's kind of right on the nice on the ZK, but this is backyards. You don't need all of that. There's not that many times you're going to have to adjust it on the fly. So that's cool. I like that. Now, when I'm rating this, as I'm starting to rate it, I'm rating it as practicality, kind of commercial. Since it's kind of commercial, kind of residential, I'm rating it on both of those ends. And where did they cut cost, and where did they keep the cost? Did they cut cost too low, or did they do it just right? And honestly, I think they pretty much got it nailed down to where they didn't cut too much. I don't think there's any. I think there's only one thing I think they cut too much on, but we'll get into that. So, you know, obviously it's the same up here as a normal mower. Here's your brake, and then here is this here, and this is how you fill it. Now, you could say that that's a little too cheap. That's a small gas tank, but then again, I disagree. That is a small gas tank because you're doing backyards with this. You're not mowing huge fields with it. I'm okay with that. You got your hydros. One thing that initially I did not like, and then I thought about it, I liked it, was this here. I was like, why do they put zip ties on here? Why didn't they put an actual metal bracket here? I mean, come on, you really have to cut that? And I thought, well, as you can see, it was raining today. Metal rust, plastic doesn't. It does get brittle over time, so eventually you're gonna have to replace the metal, or eventually you're gonna have to replace the plastic. Make it cheaper, who cares? And if you can't find these really big zip ties, you can just go to AutoZone or Napa, go get the biggest zip ties you can find, zip them together, and boom, there you go, you have it. So I didn't like it at first, but actually I do like that. A little bit cheap in a sense, but you're just holding this there. I mean, who cares? It's got the normal system where they put all the fuses in one box. I think this is the fuse box. Ooh, I don't know. I'm talking on my ass a little bit. Okay. So that's nice. As usual, pretty simple technology, carbureted engines, no EFI. I like the fact, oops, my phone's getting low here. I like the fact that it has this guard here. That's great. They could have gone cheap, and they could have made a great excuse going cheap, but they didn't. I really like that. You know, commercial guys are going to bang it, and it protects all this stuff in here. Commercial guys are going to bang it up against things, and so do residential guys. So I really like that. The one thing I don't like is the pulley system. So here's the top of the pulley here. Just a normal pulley system. I don't know if it'll focus. There it goes. And the bottom has 4 washers. Now on the ZK, it has 5 washers on the bottom, has 1 washer on the top. And you can change out the washers from the bottom, put them on the top, put the top one on the bottom. You can adjust your height so you can get more suction and better cut quality. Well, this just has a bolt and doesn't go all the way through. I don't like that. I think they should have went back to what they do on the ZK. You might see that in the future maybe, or not. So that's the thing I think that they should have kept, that they went a little too cheap on, but you know, whatever. You take some, you leave some. So we'll see how that goes out in the future. We'll see if they end up changing that or if they keep that the way it is. Alrighty. Now, the next thing that I was pleasantly surprised about was this engine here. So from a distance with the plastic cover, of course all manufacturers are going cheap these days, but with this plastic cover, I thought this was an FR. This is an FS engine. Now, I don't have my Gravely here because it's in the shop, but it has an FR series engine in it. And so when this came out, comes out as a residential prosumer model, I figured, okay, FR engine. And I looked at the B that was in the showroom at the time. I saw this red here. You know, it kind of looks just like the FR. I think I have a 730V or something. It kind of looked like, so I figured it was an FR 600 or 500 or whatever their version is. And I came up and looked at it, it's an FS. Well, geez, that's better. So they didn't skimp on that, and you know, they could have skimped on that and said, you know what, this is a prosumer model. You don't need all, you know, you're only going to use it for so much. Even the commercial guys are only using it for backyards. Not a big deal, but they didn't, and I like that. You know, I want this thing to last, you know, minimum 10 years, 20 years if I can. I mean, I'm gonna be operating it by myself. I might have an employee, probably not. With the way things are going, probably not. And so I like that. I like that they put a better engine on it. So overall, it seems this is just a first impression. Alrighty, this is my 2020 setup 2.0 as they call it. And it's the same truck as before, nothing special. Just the 3500, 454 in it, 8 miles a gallon, nothing special. But I got a new trailer. It's a Corn Pro. It's 20 foot long, 7 foot by 8 inches, and the most important thing about it is that I can fit my bagger in it with the Gravely. And as you can see, the Gravely's not here today because it's in the shop, but I can fit the Gravely with the bagging system in it. And the guy said that when he was pulling it, he used a Skag with a bagger system in it. So pretty sure anything with a 60 inch with a bagger system I can fit on there. And as you can see, I got my Green Touch racks here, and I hooked that up. I actually had this custom made for this trailer. This is there's a company that I mow for, and all they do is make these boxes. They have F350s, 450s, international trucks, the trucks with just the frames. Like, they have at least 5 or 6 sitting there all the time. I'll go there, it'll be a brand new truck, and the next week I come back and there's these beautiful awesome boxes that they make, you know, toolboxes or flatbeds, and they just make anything. And once I realized that that's what they were making there, I knew they did something with metal. I didn't know they actually made these boxes. I said, hey, can you make a box for me, you know? And they said, yeah. So I decided I just needed a simple box, nothing special. They just made it. You know, it's nice and simple, just a little latch over there that I just got in it. I got to put the D-ring back on there, but other than that, easy peasy. Now I can put my electric hedge trimmers in there and they won't get wet. As you can see, oh, here's my blower rack. So I put it on this one. I put it on the back screws because, as you can tell, it kind of intrudes in a little bit. And so when I backed out the gravely, I didn't want to keep hitting that. Well, I didn't put an L bracket on it like I should have. And it kept going like this, and I kept putting it off, and before you know it, as you can see, I broke that pretty well. So that was my fault. I should have put some type of L bracket right here. I didn't do that, and so now it's just kind of sitting there until I eventually take it off here, and I'll probably do that after I'm done with this video. Oh, there's my daughter Emma. How are you? How are you doing, Emma?
Here.
Oh, thank you. All right, I'm gonna have to stop the video and see what she wrote me.
Put it beside your bed.
Okay, she gave me a I love you card. Oh, I love my daughter. Anyways, so, and as you can see, I have the new tire, the old tire. I was driving, I said, I think, I don't know when I'm going to put it on this video, but I popped a tire, actually the other one over there, and I didn't have a spare. So I gimped my way over to the Discount Tire and just bought a whole new rim and tire. And then I went to Menards and got this C-clamp, or not C-clamp, but like this, I don't even know what these are called, but it's like a bracket, square bracket. And then I got these lock nuts, and then just right there, easy peasy. And you just have, I have tools I always have that I can just take it off if I need it. And then here is the gas cans. Sorry, my house is right here. Then I got my 2-strokes, and then my 4-stroke, and then I got a little creative here, and I hillbilly rigged it. So all I have to do is press this down, and then it comes out here. And then I have other hoses that are different lengths. So if I have the ferrous here, I can get the ferrous. And then if I have the right here, it'll get the right. And they're up in here, but that's what I did. It's kind of jimmy rigged, but I think it works out pretty well. You know, I have 10 gallons of fuel. I don't have to worry about running out of fuel, and I don't have to take it off to fill it because it's on the same side as this. My gas is over here, so I just pull up. I take up 2 pumps, and then I just fill it in here, and then when I'm starting to get low, I just bring it around here, so I never have to take those gas cans off to fill them up. I just, boom, that's it. That's easy. So, and then the 2-stroke I don't have to either, because I just bring the weed whacker up here or the blower up here and do that. Now I do have a 2-stroke in here somewhere. Where is it? Right there. That I have for when I want to fill up with blowers, and I don't want to bring the blower up there. But other than that, that's how I do it. So there's my setup video for 2020 2.0, as they call it. So there we are.